Hi, my name is Ben and this is my experiment for Community-Based Science 1. In our atmosphere we know that heat, energy and temperature can play a massive part in the way air and water currents behave. There are three ways in which heat can move, and this is through conduction, convection and radiation. For today's experiment we're going to be looking at convection, which is basically the circulation and movement caused by different temperate waters or different temperature gases circulating around as one density is higher and one density is lower. Because of the densities, one is lighter and one is heavier, causing one to move upwards and one to move downwards. So if we think of it when we're looking at solids, liquids and gases, we know that solids have a very tightly bound particle, which is like, let's picture it like this. But then when we move to a liquid state, the particles start to separate and form away, and then finally when we have a gas, they are dispersing. So this is what we mean by density. Even though we've got, we're staying within a liquid state throughout this whole experiment, we know that as one temperature is getting higher, that it's moving towards a less dense and then therefore lighter, and one's moving to a more dense and a heavier state. So in this experiment what we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding hot and cold water into a room temperature container here. So basically all we need for this experiment was some plastic cups obviously, some skewers and some different dyes. So in this solution we've got some hot boiling water which came out of the kettle. All we've done is added some red dye to that. And on the other side I've had some water that's been sitting in the freezer for a little while, and we've got some blue dye added to that. So what we're going to do, just add these in. So what we should begin to notice is we've got the hot water on the right hand side here. The hot water will begin to rise and the cold water here will begin to sink below that. As that happens, one's moving down, one's moving up, we create a current where the two will start to circulate around. And after a little while we should see it will separate a little bit as the hot water's on top and the cold water's on the bottom. So hopefully you can see that there through the camera. And what we also will begin to notice after a certain amount of time is as the temperatures begin to rest in the middle, so the hot and the cold water and the room temperature water all settle to one point, this is when the colours will begin to blend and not be separated. So I've actually done one earlier as well, which we've got here. Right. Now as we can see, the red and the blue has all become, the two temperature waters have all become one, and it has created a purple solution. This is a very easy way to show children how hot and cold water behaves, and is very relatable to the way things work in the atmosphere as far as water and air currents. Thank you.